back to Saxthorpe Farms, just finishing up the maize harvest. So managed to get all of that done, and next we're going to be jumping over to the oaks. This video, you'll hear me say a few times, this video is a little bit weird. I'm recording this intro. I've already recorded all of the other game footage with commentary, but we're going to be jumping backwards and forwards between the oaks because things didn't work out as I expected. You'll hear me say that a few times as well, because the contracts on the oaks are freaking huge and it took way longer than I thought it would. So you'll see popping up in a minute our setup. I bought a second truck that was in the sales. I thought I'd videoed that, seems I didn't. So yeah, this is our setup ready to roll, and I will see you on the oaks. So I end up not recording very much of what I've just done. I have just tackled probably one of the biggest harvesting contracts that I've done, certainly with a single combine. It took about 5.5 hours of real time. We have hauled ridiculous amounts of grain. You'll see I have quite a bit of cash in the bank, so I've brought over 20 grand from Saxthorpe, and we've got 91 grand in the bank now, and that's just from selling the excess grain, and we've still got a trailer full of oats. So the plan is that the oats are going to get run back to Saxthorpe, and the Fent and the Deutz will get set up for one more harvesting contract on here. I think if I pick something small, I can get another one done in the day. And while they're doing that, I'm actually going to leave that to run in the background. I'm going to head back over to Saxthorpe because there's something that I want to try and do. It might be too late actually at this point. It might be too late. I'll go and have a look. What I wanted to do is see if I could fix the fertilization on our sorghum field, but I think it might be ready to harvest at this point. So if that's the case, I might be back here. I might be doing some stuff on Saxthorpe. But yeah, basically the contract was so big that I just kind of sat and played it through the weekend and didn't really get any footage of it. There's a little bit of delivering grain, but that's about it. Yeah, so let's jump into the menu for a second, and you will see that this contract has paid us £83,000, so we will collect that. And then if I go into the finances tab, you will see that we sold, it'll be in August, won't it, £72,000 worth of oats off that contract, and we've got the 40,000 litres in the trailer that I'm going to take back and stick in the grain dry, so that's going to be worth another 70 grand. So yeah, we've done really well out of this. I have a bit of a dilemma, and I might leave you guys to answer this. Go in the sale. Actually, the sales have been updated, so I don't have a dilemma anymore. That's fine. Where I skipped ahead time, it had gone away. There was a massy version of the combine that we've got, but it's not there anymore. So I'm actually thinking, don't hate me, is that we grab ourselves another 7250, because we're always short of tractors for doing fieldwork contracts, and essentially this contract has just paid for this plus some more. So yeah, I seriously think I'm just going to get it in the config. I need to go and sort all the number plates out, because originally I had this number plate sequence going on, but I've kind of deleted it, stopped it. I'm just looking at the options. The 7250 is the horsepower. I'm just going to go for it as is. Yes, we're getting a duplicate tractor, but to be honest, we can make use of it. We can immediately send. Actually, we could send the 72 30 back and make use of that for the spraying if spraying exists. I'll let's buy this while I'm fapping. Didn't expect to do that. Yeah, I'll sort out what I'm going to do and I'll come back to you in a bit. This has been a bit of a weird video to record so far. There will have been a little bit at the start, which might actually have ended up being a time lapse. I might have just done a bit of an introduction. I'm not sure yet because I've recorded that, but not a yo. So the new Deutz has made it to Saxthorpe. I was going to say to the farm, but I guess it is the farm as well. So I'm going to put that to work in a moment. It could do with a repair, but we are a little bit cash strapped. So it's from making loan payments and taking some of the money over to the oak. So overall, we're okay. But, what I want to do is hook up the cultivator to the original 7250. Well, things are going to get confusing now. And get this guy out doing some work. We have a whole load of contracts to get done. So we will tackle those of a variety of nature. So we're going to be putting the 3 tractors we have on the farm at the moment. Or 3 of the 4, because we have the little tiny one, which we never really use for much other than shuttling stuff about. So contracts. So you have a lot of active contracts. We've got some fertilizing ones. So I'm going to put the little the AgroStarter work doing those. I did take a harvesting one. I don't know if we'll tackle that, but there are some sowing ones as well. So we can essentially put all 3 tractors to work. If we go for one of the smaller ones of 36, because we might have an issue that we can't hire workers. So let's see if it will let us send the tractor up to field 36. Yeah, well, I'm not sure which field 36 that's going to, because there are 2, but it's the same field, so that will be okay. We might need to do a bit of a bridging loan to get us there, doing some work. But I'm going to jump in the other one, grab the big trailer, and I want to take the wheat up to the grain dryer. So the oats were delivered by the truck, and that's now back over at the Oaks doing a soybean harvesting contract, and I actually have it running in the background on my laptop. So I'm playing on my desktop, running the Saxthorpe save, and on my laptop is running the Oaks save. And yeah, let's be super efficient, shall we? And let's also remember that the silo is over here. So yeah, I don't know why, but I just didn't. That first big contract, I really didn't get any. Well, I do know why. I was just kind of playing and getting it done because it was huge. And I thought I've done so much harvesting lately that to show you a bunch of harvesting contracts would be not much fun. So trying to, mixing it up a bit. We've got a bunch of work to do. All of the fields here are now ready to harvest. So 8, 10 and 23, so we'll be getting stuck into those. And let's just check the sales as well, just for completeness, because we have access to different sales over here because it's a different shop. And nothing particularly that leaps out at me. So yeah, we're gonna spend the rest of September 1 getting contracts done, and then we'll get the harvesting done over 2 and 3 and see where we go from there. Hopefully this thing is going to pick up a little bit. It might need some front weight. It might also need me to jump in to VCA and do a bit of manual. Let's bung all of those on and see if we can actually get going. So this is a different version to the other 7250. The other one is a base game one. Yeah, I think the other one is a base game one. This is a modded one, so that's a thing. I didn't notice any other differences when I briefly had them parked next to each other, but The original plan was to pick up a 9 series, but this was such a good deal that I think we kind of had to. It would have been a little bit silly not to buy this. What I might do is run the grain dryer for a bit to generate some cash, assuming that the prices aren't awful. So we'll get up to the store and we'll have a look. The 7250 has got to the weight point. This is not going to get confusing at all, because we can't even say new and old, because this one is also not new. And this is new to us, and it's shiny for now. It's definitely not what I was expecting to come out of a trip down to the Oaks, was picking up another tractor. But you know, we made so much money on that contract, and we've got the 40,000 litres of shit we chug up the hill. Let's just quickly check the prices for dry wheat. We might, yeah, dry oat price is actually not awful. I think it goes higher than that, so maybe we'll wait. But yeah, we'll get it all running so that it's all dry at least, because we've now got wheat, oats and barley in the dryer, which is quite cool. I should have brought a smaller trailer because tipping this isn't going to work. Something that I think might need to happen is to move this trigger out a little bit so that I can tip from outside. It would be more auto drive friendly as well, so we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we can get things up so they tip smooth as silk. I'm wondering is if I put it at an angle whether we can be deeper into the shed but have more height to tip. I can. My awesome driving skills kind of do that. So the trailer's deeper, but the back end is still over the trigger, because there's a fair bit of height in here. Or not, actually. Cool. That tipped. So let's jump in the production menu. And so the maize silage is still processing. There's lots of it. But we might as well run all of those. We've actually got, we don't have barley. We've got 20,000 litres of dry barley. Do we sell that to make a bit of cash? God, it's way down on its best price. I think we'd be better off borrowing a bit of cash from the bank for a day or two until the contracts start to kick in. So, in fact, I think we're going to do that. Let's just park in the middle of the road. Bank loan, take loan, amount 10,000, and 1 year take loan. So we have some cash now. So if we tab over to here, we can get this going, and that'll start to bring in some cash as well. And then we can fund doing more work. So I had this running ridiculous amounts of headlands on the cultivating contracts just to have lots of room to turn, and it seems to work better because I've done quite a few of these sort of in the background of some of the other jobs. But we'll get that going. We'll get this back to the farm, and then we'll decide what else we're going to do. There are some seeding contracts that pay particularly well, so it might be worth grabbing those or hooking the seeder up and doing some of those. And the fertilizing contracts obviously all pay well, so maybe we will. I'm hoping that I can put the fert spreader on the back of the AgroStar, hoping that will fit and we can then make some money. We're making kind of lots of money over on the oaks. So I do need to keep going occasionally and checking on that, because literally Courseplay and Autodrive are doing their thing on a different computer and I can't see the screen. So, you know, this video's turned into a bit of a marathon effort to get recorded, and is not a bit like the video yesterday. Is not the video I intended to make. I thought I would go and do a couple of days over on the Oaks and record it all, but didn't work out that way. I'd underestimated how big the jobs were. Yeah, I think really to go harvesting on the Oaks, we probably want 2 big combines, but not yet. We need to raise a bit more cash for that. So if we come in here, I don't even know if we have a front weight that we can use to balance this beastie out once it's got the spreader on the back. I'm not sure. I think, is there might be one actually, because whenever I open the trigger up, one appears. So the repair trigger. No. Okay. I wonder if I left it in here after doing the front loader work. Could do with repairing this as well, but everything's gonna have to wait, I think. No, not in there. There it is. There it is. So, actually, just thinking that the first spreaders we have are the pull behinds, which could be a bit of work for this guy, but, you know, we'll give it a try. I was sure I had a 3.1 because I always have 3.1s, but, you know, we don't. We have these beasties. So, God, this shed looks empty. What's the weather forecast like? We've gotten, yeah, we'll be all right. We skip some time. So that one looks the fullest, assuming it's got fertilizer in it, which it has. So it's got 4,000 litres of fertilizer in it nearly. So we'll set this off and then come back to get more. Yes, I know it's big. It's probably too big, but we need to do work. So, you know, it'll maybe run a bit slower. It's fine. So let's have a look at which fertilizing contracts we have. So field 2, 17, 22, 41. I know we've got a course to field 2, so we're going to do that one. So, and it's not too big a field. What we had. I really need to tidy up all my waypoints, which I keep talking about and never actually doing. So target position about there, field position about there, generate me a course, do 2 headlands, and start at the start, and off you go. Okay, I'm headed to field 39 to seed barley. It's the smaller of the seeding contracts, and it's not a massive field. And again, it just means we can get some cash. We can then sell or settle the loan off, and yeah, just be working in the right direction, basically. So field 39 was not down here. Field 39 was the other way. I was just excited to drive down this farm track. I think it's one of the best farm tracks in the game at the moment. It's brilliant. I love it. Yeah, and so I decided that was the way we needed to go. Let's just double check, because I'm being a bit blonde at the moment. Yep, barley, field 39. Yes, I used to have blonde hair a long time ago, before all of you chime in. I think if I had hair now, more of it would be grey than blonde. certainly got the odd grey chest hair cropping through, which is always slightly depressing. So obviously, because it's a contract, I won't be using proceed or fertilizer, because we want to be paid to. I have unfolded lower. G. Lower. There we go. Obviously, we want to be paid to do fertilizing and not just do it as part of the job of seeding their field for them. It's yeah, much better to get paid twice or three times, because we can fertilize it twice, because this field has no fertilizer. And generally, once you've done a fert contract, you'll get a once you've done a seeding contract, sorry, you'll get a fertilizing contract. So, you know, let's make the money while we can. I might end up seeding through the rain as well, because it's not my field, you know. That is my kit, and it would get very gunked up. So actually, that reminds me of, so I think I asked in a video this question. In fact, I know I did, because I got some responses to it. I'm planning to put together a Maize Plus companion mods video, and one of the suggestions was the rain pain mod, and I've not looked at it since it released, because I don't know, it just didn't appeal to me then. But maybe it's good. So beyond the one person that recommended it, is anyone else using that mod? I quite like the mud mod. I don't know if I have it installed on here. It's entirely possible that I don't, because I like the way it affects how the tractors behave. But I guess the rain pain mod reflects the fact that you're going to have to do more work on your kit once you've used it in the rain, you know. If you're running a seeder like this, you're probably going to be having to dig mud out of everything. So yeah, I'm just kind of curious. We've got about 4 minutes, and the first two contracts will be done, which is cool. And it looks like we're going to need to send the Agrostar back to get more fur at that point. But we should have some cash at least. So I'm guessing we're going to have to run back and get seed as soon as we've done this contract as well. So yeah, this has been a bit of a weird video. But so let me explain a little bit for why. Most of you may know that I enjoy running, and with the headache problem I had over the summer, I took quite a long break from doing any exercise, because although it does help, it's really hard to motivate yourself when you're in so much pain you want to smash your head against the wall. So I think it's nearly 5 weeks ago now, I got back to being able to train. And in 3 weeks, I have it's either going to be a marathon or an ultra marathon. It's a 6-hour timed event. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to get far enough to class it as an ultra marathon. But that means weekends now involve, so this weekend was 6.5 hours of running. And that's quite tiring. And so quite often I'll just sit and chill out with Mrs. D. We'll watch some TV, and I might tinker with the game, but I probably won't be playing properly. So yeah, and that's kind of why I just did a bunch of stuff in the background, and that's why this video is not what I intended. But you know, it is what it is. It's you know, for my benefit. Running is really good for my health. It does help with my headaches once I can get past the not being able to. So yeah, that's why I did not turn the seeder on. That's why this video has been a little bit weird. So we'll yeah. Anyway, that's a thing. We are almost done with our first two contracts of many. I'm going to be doing many on, well, I'll be going until the end of the day, basically, is the plan. In fact, that is a contract done. So before we start this run, field 36, which is this one. And that's pretty good actually, because we're just coming up to an exit. So let's fold that up. Let's clear the course play course. Claim our money and see where we're headed next. So 13, 36, 13, 16 or 34. 34's got to be up here somewhere. It's just there. So I think we send this tractor off to field 34. And I'm guessing that the other contract is very nearly done as well, if I didn't miss the completion message as I was doing that one. Let's just have a look. Not yet. So I should, when I'm doing stuff like this, it's worth running the HUD. There we go. So we'll just finish this. I know I'm massively overlapping this tram line. Yeah, I should run the contracts HUD, but when I've got so many contracts active, it ends up like a freaking shopping list halfway down the screen. And so there comes the rain. There's a song in that, isn't there? Don't worry, I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to sing. Or hum today. Let's see if any of you pick up that reference. Other than the man that I know knows the reference. So we need to send this back to get some more because we now have money. So we'll see if we have the mud mod active as to whether we get stuck in the field at all. That will dictate whether I need to skip some time. So we do have the fertilizer. So let's get that one going back that way. Let's jump to this one. And generate me a course, please, course plate. Awesome. And, we'll get lined up and get that going. And then I'm going to crack on with this seeding contract and check back with you guys in a bit, because otherwise this is going to be a ridiculously long, weird video rather than just a weird video. Most of the way through the seeding contract, I did end up working through the rain. Don't judge me. It's, you know, just getting the jobs done, because if we're going to own the map, we need to be making money. So we actually have, speaking of which, a fertilizing contract to collect. So when I stop at the end of this run, I'm going to pay that 10 grand overdraft that we took out back, so that we are good. I know that's not really the intent of this mod, but you know, again, we make use of the things that we need to. So we already have the restriction about leasing and things. So yeah, we're going to go with that. The cultivating contract is not far from being finished. Well, so let's say that there's 18 minutes left to go. There's 6 minutes left on the second fertilizing contract. And I think there's about 20 minutes on the harvesting one that's running. So we should be pretty good for getting stuff finished. Then I'll bring everything back overnight. And in the morning, assuming the weather is okay, because the forecast looks a little bit ropey, we'll get stuck in to harvesting our own fields. Get those finished. There's a massive ploughing contract. To be fair, it doesn't, well, just pay 60 grand. It's to plough the huge field. I'm a little bit tempted to grab that and tackle it once we've done our field work. We could buy one more plough. We could run a triple plough setup. That's much more for my benefit than yours. So it might be an off-camera job. So let's get everything folded up and collect on our sewing contract. So that's another 12 grand in the bank. I'm going to grab that. It's too tempting. These big harvesting ones are root crops, which we don't have the capability to deal with. Yeah, that's immense. And will be kind of fun to tackle, got to admit. It's the kind of thing that I enjoy. I know, a bit strange, but hey, I'm not going to take on another seeding contract because I think it will take us too long. Because the remaining ones are bigger. So, and that did take a little while. I had to get a couple of bags of seed delivered by the shop so that I could actually finish. Yeah, so a bit of a... That actually, with both Let's Plays this week so far, apart from the console one, bit of a weird video, maybe. Obviously, you don't normally do a whole bunch of live commentary. I do have a little bit of an intro to do still, but yeah, something a little bit different again. There are a lot of jobs to do on this map suddenly, so definitely think I'm going to grab all of the cultivating and ploughing type contracts because there's no real deadline on getting those done. You know, we get them done when we get them done. Should know my way around the map by now, but really don't. So I think we want to keep going straight down. Yeah, I want to grab as many field working contracts as we can because now with 3 decent sized tractors we can be running, you know, 3 plows if we need to, or like 2 plows on the cultivator, so we can get through a lot of work over the winter. And that hopefully means we can either pay down loans or buy more land, or both. So we've got... We'll do it. We'll do a kind of a stock check, I guess, after we've harvested the last 3 fields and we've got all our crops in. I think we've got sorghum, canola, and I want to say sunflowers left to harvest. And yeah, we'll keep plodding along. I am going to check the sales again. I still need actually we're going to need to service a load of vehicles before we start next game day. We'll need to do a bit of servicing work. Thankfully we should be bringing back some cash from the Oaks along with our new addition. Going to check the sales before we go because I am still looking to pick up more kit. That's another contract done. That's the fertilizing one done. Awesome. I think probably we can grab one more fert contract before I end things. So I'm going to whiz back to the farm, drop this off. We'll jump in the other tractor because I think the other fertilizing contract is tiny. I'm just going to pull this into the shed for now. We do need to do a bunch of servicing, but for now, we'll just pull in there, park that up. That's only got a couple of headlands to go, so let's turn off course plate. Collect this contract. Collect. Grab those. Sewing contract 36. Not huge. I'm going to take that again. So my thought is that when we get into... Where's the exit to this field? Over there. When we get into running our harvest, we won't need everything we own to support harvest now. Yep. We won't need everything we own to support harvest. We could get away with, like I'm doing on the Oaks, we could have the 7230 and the truck and the combine. And that would leave us with essentially the fleet we've got out doing contracts now to do more contracts. So yeah, we could just keep grinding out the contracts, keep making money. What I might actually do is swap over and put the Agro Star on the Auger Wagon. So we've got our fleet of 7 Series Deutz out doing contracts for us, making money back. So I'm going to get over to this little field and I will see you. Kind of like I said, a FERT contract has cropped up on field 39. So we're going to do that quickly while we finish up. I do need to do so much servicing. It's very battered, but I don't think it's going to take very long to do this field. So that's why I think this is a good idea. So I will actually get to see how the AgroStar handles the FERT spreader, which is also going to be interesting. So actually, it seems okay to me. So yes, it's a bit small, but it's not got that full a load in it. I did have a full load at the start, but let's ignore that. And yeah, we're making some money, and it's slightly better paying than some of the others that the one that I was going to do, which is over. I've now got actually 2 contracts over on the tiny fields. So, and that obviously, or maybe not obviously, means we are topping up our discount and our future discount, because as I said, when you bank the max discount with better contracts, you can it keeps count of what you do beyond and gives you that back. So yeah, going to make it cheaper for us to buy more land in the future. And I guess it's kind of going to balance out, you know, as there are less contracts to do, we'll have more work to do on our own farm, and we'll be able to make more money from our own farm, so we won't need the money from contracts. So I think it's going to kind of maintain a nice equilibrium, hopefully, although it's an interesting question, actually. I don't know if I could force the game to let me test it, but whether you make more money out of a field doing the contracts on it versus owning it. So, you know, like we got paid to seed this field. We're getting paid to fertilize this field. I'm getting paid £9 to fertilize it. We got, I think, about 12 to seed it, so 20 grand so far. You know, versus if you just, whether you planted it yourself and did everything and harvested it, how different the amount of money you would make is. I don't know if I could force the game to do that so that I could test it. That would be interesting to try. That's definitely one for a test save, though. But probably a test save where I can farm a whole bunch of stuff. I think real speed might be my friend on that one, so that I can do contracts on, you know, because you want to go from, as soon as harvest is over, cultivate or plough, seed, double fert, harvest, maybe weed. Yeah, that's interesting. As to, yeah, because like on a map like this, I find that on a lot of fields I'm getting all of the contracts. Not necessarily all of them, but on all fields I mean, but on a lot of the fields I'm getting all of the contracts. So we've literally just finished seeding this and they instantly want us to fertilize it. And I would not be surprised if when we transition a month and they want another fertilization state done. So yeah, we could, you know, potentially, yeah. I'm curious now. I'm going to add that to the list. How are we doing on our cultivating contract? 86% and 5 minutes. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to get this done and I'll be back. This contract is not taking that long. I've just checked the sales and I am curious what you guys think about maybe the axial flow. 490 horsepower. It was 120 grand, 60% off as a second combine. Then I've been sticking hard to the Deutz tractors, but maybe we'd have a bit of flexibility on the combines because it would be kind of useful to pick up a second combine. We'll have to see how much money we come back from the Oaks with, which that contract is nearly done. So if I went into here and it was, I'm not sure which one it is. Well, let's just park up. Sorry, I'm kind of distracted. It's the 7150. So that can have it's only got a 28-foot header. No. Answered that question. We want to be sticking to 40-foot headers, I think, so that they can work as a pair more easily. And I did ponder. Sorry, guys. We could sell the two Deutz combines for a decent amount. That is the cultivating contract finished. I'm just going to let Courseplay keep running while I finish this one off. Yeah, I think we'll wait for now because I've picked up a load of harvesting contracts, and probably what I'll do is, I said we don't actually need all of the kit supporting our combine, but it could be that we have one tractor and have the pair of Deutz combines working on some of the harvesting contracts, and have one of the, we are done on this contract, we'll just do that a little bit for them. Have one of the, maybe the 72 or the smaller 7 series supporting the combines, so we could run the harvesting contracts, because those generally do pay about the best. So let's park this guy up. In fact, we will send this tractor back to the farm. And we're going to need to go to the repair point. So let's jump over to here. Actually, that's perfect. Let's switch that off and fold it up. The soybean harvesting contract on the Oaks has finished. It actually finished a little bit earlier in the game day than this, technically, because, you know, stuffs. So off of that, we got 21,640 litres of soybeans that are going to come back to the farm. We got paid £25,000 or just over, and that means we're sitting at just under £75,000 on there, 74,520. So we've got that to add on to here. Actually, I should do that now. Let's do that now so I don't forget. So add money, 74520. Obviously not as much as we would have had, but we brought a new tractor while we were there. So, and we brought a truck before we went. So we've brought a lot of kit in that time. And we also have 2 contracts on here that we have finished. So it's another 21-ish thousand pounds. So overall, a pretty productive couple of days. So I'm going to say, I'm going to stop the video at this point in case it wasn't clear. I'm going to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, stick them below. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel, and I will see you next time.